Can you train martial arts at home? Can you whoop ass without ever going to a gym? Do you need a dojo and a black belt to be placed on you to verify that you're able to defend yourself effectively? We will get into that today, but first, let me welcome you back to Shredded Samurai on YouTube. How have you guys been? I've missed you guys, man. I don't know if you've noticed, but haven't been super active on YouTube for the month of February. It's officially March now. Hopefully spring is coming. If you're in the United States like me, I'm sure you're getting sick of cold weather. But what's been going on is shreddedsamurai.com is taking off. If you stay to the end of the video, I'll have more about that. But now we can get into the topic of today, which is martial arts training at home. Can it be done? Should it be done? I'm going to argue today that not only, yes, it can be done, but if you're actually serious about this, you will be doing this. And this will probably be the primary way you make progress, at least in the early portion of your martial arts journey. So, the misconception we have today is, and I've talked to a lot of people who don't train. If you've met me, I'll probably try and convince you to train martial arts within 2 hours of meeting you, because I enjoy this passion so much, and I believe that many people would have a lot to gain from this practice. But for whatever reason, you hear people say, well, there's no gym in my city, there's no dojo. Where's the master that is going to make me into this martial arts phenom that you speak of? The master appears when the student is ready. What's going to determine your success in martial arts is your devotion to your intention. If you are intentional about improving your ability to defend yourself, improving your boxing, your kickboxing, your wrestling, your Muay Thai, your Jiu Jitsu, improving your ability to defend yourself from an attacker or any sort of situation where you don't feel safe, your devotion to that intention is what's going to determine your success. If you think that it's going to be a coach will come into your life and then all of a sudden you'll be Israel Adesanya, a coach will come into your life and now you're Habib, you take everyone down and choke them out, it's not the case. Training at home is essential, and the reality is that if you don't train at home and you go to a lot of these gyms or dojos, it's going to be more of a hindrance to you than it would be a benefit to you. If you go into a gym, let's say, that is not high level, they don't put fighters out, none of their students at their gym are competing in martial arts, and perhaps it's not the most effective style to begin with, then you've actually gotten worse in terms of your ability to defend yourself. Because now, instead of just believing you can't defend yourself, now you're misguided into thinking you can defend yourself with your Hapkido or whatever it may be. So that's why it's important to build that effective martial arts base from your home. How is this the case? Because this is an energy you're trying to bring in within yourself anyway. It's not like anyone else's body will ever be used for your own martial arts ability. You have your body right here. That's all you need. That's the beauty of martial arts, is that you're turning your body into a self-defense tool. So as long as you have your body, you can train martial arts. Now, what about the top fighters in the world, you say? They all train at American Top Team or American Kickboxing Academy. This isn't necessarily the case. There's so many fighters you can name that came up just being a fighter, and then maybe they joined a gym. You look at George Masvidal, he was just fighting. He wanted to scrap, and then because he had the spirit of a warrior, he was picked up by a gym of other warriors because they're going to respect that. Even Islam Makhachev in his most recent fight against Volkanovski, you didn't see him in San Francisco. He was back at home training with the people he loves and the people that came up with him his whole life. Why? Because that's who he is. He's a fighter, and that's all he's ever done is fight, and the people around him are what's made him great. So my main purpose of making this video today is to tell you that it's not the gym that matters, but your training partners. You need training partners if you want to make progress more than you need a gym or necessarily even a coach. I have been coached before, but the vast majority of my progress has been made by myself, putting in the hours in the gym, putting in the hours on the bag, putting in the hours shadow boxing, putting the hours running, jump roping, sparring, wrestling, everything on my own, because I love to do this. Does that make sense? It's not because I've been coached that I'm good. Getting coached was part of the reason, was something I wanted to do because I love fighting. If this isn't something you love to do, then you're not going to be as successful as you want to be. And making this something, how do you love to do this? How can you possibly love punching, kicking, being kicked, being punched, being taken down, being choked? Because there's a mental element to this sport that people do not realize until you start training it. For me, it was originally Jiu Jitsu. Realizing, oh, wait a minute, if I hold my arm a certain way, or if I have him in a certain position, he's unable to defend himself. That was interesting to me. And then with kickboxing, it got even more intense, which is, oh, these are kicks and punches that people in the UFC aren't even really great at, and now this whole different sport is really good at it. It's like a chess match. So again, dip your foot in the water and realize how much there is to gain from this practice, how much confidence you can build from this practice, and how much you can accomplish all by yourself. Don't have the limiting belief that, oh, I don't have a gym, I don't have a coach, I don't have this reason, I don't have this reason. Stop. That's a limiting belief. You don't believe you can do it, and that will become true because of your beliefs. If you have an I can attitude and say, listen, maybe I'm not going to go win a UFC title training all by myself at home, but this will give me the skill set to when I do go to a gym, I'm going to be respected. They're going to see that I care about this sport because you can tell them, I've never trained before, but when you're slamming round kicks and your punches are looking sharp, the coaches are going to notice you. So if your master plan to gain in martial arts is, I'm going to go spend the $500 a month at this gym right here, I'm going to go in there, I'm going to meet the coach, I've never trained before, and he'll make me great. If he's a serious coach and he's got serious fighters, you think that you coming to the gym with no experience and no training by yourself, you're going to be able to pass up those other fighters that have already been training with him and have already worked hard to get to their position. He's going to give you more attention than them, even though you've put in no work. So it's likely that at that high level gym, you're not going to get the eyes that you will get if you train by yourself. I used to spar one time a week on the weekends at the gym, and then every other day was training by myself. I'd come in there and they'd be surprised with how much progress I'm making, but that's because if you come into the gym once on a Friday and that's when you train, of course I'm going to be better than you when I'm training 7 days a week. So I'm not saying you have to train 7 days a week, but what I am saying is you can get started at home today. So shadow boxing, pad work, sparring, jump rope, cardio, weightlifting, footwork. All these things can be done at home, and I've done them all at home. For the vast majority of my training period, which has been about 4 years, I've done all this stuff at home. I'm very blessed that I have training partners. I'm very blessed that I have brothers that can help me with this stuff. But if I didn't take the initiative to say that this, my intention is to be a good fighter, an effective fighter, someone I can be confident that I can defend myself, if that was not my intention, then all the other things didn't matter. So make it your intention. Again, the devotion to your intention is what will make you successful in this sport, or any sport. You know, if your goal is to be somebody who can defend themselves, you don't want to fight necessarily. You just want to be able to defend yourself. You never need to leave the house. You could train entirely at home and be better off than a lot of these people, especially in my country, United States, that are training at a gym. Why? Because you have the opportunity to select your style. If I were to walk into the nearest martial arts gym in this town, chances are they'll maybe jiu-jitsu, which would be good, but I know jiu-jitsu is popular, but for striking, as far as striking goes, a lot of karate, a lot of taekwondo, and they're not, everything about karate is not bad, everything about taekwondo is not bad, but it's not what the best in the world used to win. So when you're training at home, I'd recommend you pick an effective style that the best fighters in the world used to win and start from there. You can start at home training Muay Thai, kickboxing, boxing, jiu-jitsu, or wrestling. Start at your home by yourself, no partners. And within 6 months, you're going to be better than somebody who's been training at a gym in karate for 6 months. I don't want to be the, and I'm not digging on karate. I'm just saying you have certain martial arts that are more effective for combat sports scenarios than others. So, to recap, gym, is it necessary? Depends on your goal. If you're somebody who just wants to have self-defense techniques, my best recommendation is pick a martial arts that you find interesting. One that if you watch it on TV, you'll be like, oh, I can pay attention to this. For me, it was always kickboxing. Seeing the best fighters throw the combinations with the kicks, I was like, okay, I can start to see what he's doing and why he's doing that. For you, it might be Jiu Jitsu. You might be really interested in submissions. If you're someone who's lucky enough to wrestle in high school or have wrestling experience, maybe it's just boxing because you already know that you're going to have an advantage on the ground. Learn some punches and then learn how to blend it into a takedown. So prioritize your own progress. Don't expect anyone else to come hold your hand and make you better in life for you, because you know how busy you are. Do you have enough time? Whatever your best skill is, visualize in your mind what your best skill is today. Do you have enough time to show any random person who's never dived into that topic before how to become a master? No, you don't. You knew that you had to make that happen yourself. You had to have that intention yourself. So in the same way, I'm telling you, with martial arts, have that intention in yourself. And then before you know it, the question will be, can you train martial arts at home? It'll be, why aren't more people training martial arts at home? Because I'm making all this progress by myself, because I'm not limited by the thought process that, oh, I need to be coached, or I need to have this, or I need to have that in order to be successful, when we know it's not true. If you look at the top fighters in the world, there are so many who came up, at least for the most part, maybe they didn't complete their whole career without joining a gym or having a coach. I assume most of them, by the time that they're at the top, they could afford those type of things. But many of the most successful have been people who loved this to begin with. This was what they did. And then when coaches saw them, of course they're gonna be like, oh my gosh, this guy's so good. He's never been in a gym before. Yes, because this is a skill set that's within us. We build the skill set from within the infinite history of our subconscious mind. So to say that this is something you need to be shown how to do, it's not the case. It's already within you. So wrapping up that topic today, conclusion, training is all that required. Training is all that required. Focus on getting training partners too. Training partners more so than a coach. I'm not saying coach is bad. I'm not saying your coach is bad. I'm not saying you should fire your coach. But I've noticed in my career, it's been way more successful. It's been way more beneficial for me to have a reliable training partner or two that I can call and they'll be over within 20 minutes than it is to have a coach where I'm going in there in class with 25 other people and I'm getting an hour training session and he's talking to me for a total of about 30 seconds. Let's be serious. Training partners is what matters. You can train at home. Additionally, shreddedsamurai.com. How does that come into this? shreddedsamurai.com is my new company. We are building something important here. I think it's going to help a lot of people, helping you take your martial arts home training to the next level. For many of you, that might be taking to level 1. But I guarantee you, no matter how long you've been in this, shreddedsamurai.com, we have something for you. So today, I'm going to leave a discount code in the bottom of the description. Thank you for watching. If you made it all the way to this point, I will be back with you very soon. Comment, what do you want to know about martial arts training? Where is your next step? What have you trained before? How are you trying to integrate it? Is this something you're going to continue to do? Let me know in the comment section below. I hope you have a wonderful beginning of your month of March, and I'll see you on the next one.